This is a meditation practice which gets you to think about using triggers for mindfulness. We have lots of triggers in our everyday lives that often we don't notice. So it might be triggers of things at home or at work or with our family and our friends that actually kind of push us into feeling a particular way. And this is how our emotions work. You know, there's a reaction to something. There's possibly a thought, and if we're not being mindful, we actually miss that thought, and then that internalizes into an emotional state, and then we may act in a particular way. So triggers can be positive or negative. So what I want you to think about is trying to find some positive triggers to use to help you remember to be mindful. You can incorporate lots of multiple things during your day, really. Maybe experiment with different triggers. So it could be something, what I want you to think about is your sensory awareness. So it might be something that's visual. It might be a colour. For example, it could be something that's sensory in terms of a particular smell. It might be something that you touch or feel, so there's a sensory touch, or even sound, as we know. And of course, eating, we can use something when we drink or eat something as a trigger. So what I want you to think about now, we're just going to close our eyes for a little moment, and we're just going to think about some of those triggers, positive triggers that we might be able to put around the house. And then we're going to just think about how we might use those in our daily practice. Okay. So I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes for a moment. Sit or stand comfortably wherever you are. You can just stop. And just allow your focus to come onto your breath as we do. Just gathering your attention in, noticing the sensations of your own breathing, the own rhythm, your own inhalation and your own exhalation. And whilst I'm talking, I just want you to allow ideas to come into your mind. So I want you to think perhaps about something that might be a helpful trigger in the morning when you first get up. Is there something in your bedroom that may remind you? Is there a picture? Or could it be every time you put on a piece of clothing? Could it be the shower? Could it be when you brush your teeth? Just something that you do every morning, drinking a cup of coffee, cup of tea. And then I want you to imagine yourself doing that and just really focusing on that thing. So if you're thinking about a picture, look at its shapes, its patterns, its colours. And you're going to take a deep breath in. So something that you might do every morning, and I want you to think about the next time you do it, you're going to really focus and you're going to notice your breathing whilst you're being mindful with this sensation. So, and then maybe think about something else that's in your house, something maybe that's in the kitchen or the lounge or your office or somewhere where you spend part of the day. Is there some activity or something that you like the feel of, the texture of? Perhaps it's, again, it could be eating a meal. And I want you to think, I'm going to use that as a trigger to just bring myself into the present moment whilst I'm doing that activity. And the key with mindfulness is to be thinking about what you're doing at the same time. So if you're eating, you're thinking about eating. If you're showering, you're thinking about the sensations of showering. If you're sat listening to music or to sound, you're thinking about the music and the sound. You're really engaging with that thing. Often, we are doing something and thinking about something else because we are in the past or the future. And we need to have these moments of present moment connection and exploration. And now I want you to think about maybe something that you do later in the day or in the evening or before bed. Just have a little think of something, or something that you look at, something that you listen to, something that you can feel the texture of as a connection. And then when we finish this meditation, I want you to maybe just write down 3 or 4 things during your day that you're going to use as your positive mindful triggers. Another idea that I once did when I was practicing very early on was I got some post-it notes. And I placed the post-it notes in different places around the house. Sometimes I used to write breathe on them. But when I saw a post-it note, I used to just stop and take 5 or 10 focused breaths. And then I just used to move on and do whatever I was going to do. And it got me into the habit of taking quick moments of focused attention very, very quickly. I didn't feel it was onerous. I didn't feel I had to completely stop everything and sit. I just used them as trigger points. So, think about different colours, smells, textures, different activities, and make your own list of the triggers, positive triggers that you could use to give yourself these mini breaks during the day. Okay, thank you.